So,
but we are family friendly.
monster.
Could Laura explain the pickle jar?
Well, here's the thing. So we have this podcast. We were talking about maybe wanting to do a second podcast where we do something kind of like this, and we wanted to name it Top Pickle, where you pick topics out of a pickle jar.
I think they're in my fridge. Same. Love them.
Yeah, we call her Fate too. It's not just like
Yeah. I'm Laura, and I play Winnie. She's a halfling bard, and she is very young, so she's cute.
She's real cute. I am Samantha Turley. I play Twiddle Twaddle of the Twaddle tribe, and I am a changeling barbarian, which is really exciting with the new Eberron book coming out, because I've got to adjust a little bit of my changeling stuff.
grandmother.
Who are you?
And I am Becca Eckert, and I play Kanako Merriweather, Lacer, Glomersquint, Fizzlebang, Jimmy Jam Jax. She is a gnome, artificer, gunsmith. She's very excitable and old.
She's a grandma.
Yeah, she's the old lady of the group. She's very crotchety. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Good luck, Matt.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, gosh. Thank you.
Yeah. Very exciting.
Yeah, I'm surprised people like us like that. That's probably the most surprising thing to me, that people like listened to us and were like, oh yeah, that's good, I'm gonna tell my friend. And then their friend also liked it, and like it kept happening. That was very surprising.
I think I've been surprised by the community. We went to Dallas last weekend for Anime Fest, and we met other podcasters, and it's just fun being able to say, oh my gosh, are you going through this? And like, yes.
Yeah.
So that's been a lot of fun.
I was also going to say the community, but I think like not just the community of podcasters, but the people that listen to D&D podcasts there are people, obviously. Like, D&D is just so great, and because I know for me, at least, when I first started playing D&D, I was in college, and like it seemed a little kind of like exclusive. Like you had to be the right type of nerd to get in, and so it was just like hard, to be able to get into that, I guess. But since starting the podcast and just getting to see the way that the community has like really supported us and the opportunities we've had to support other people that play D&D, especially like women and children to play D&D as a family friendly podcast, and all women family friendly podcast has been really cool. Yeah.
The lights flickered.
Video games.
This question doesn't apply to anyone.
What? You have like a million characters.
As a bard, I'm actually a College of Satire bard, so I tell a lot of jokes. And so I will look at the spells I think I might use that day, and I will just think of different jokes that I think a 15-year-old would tell.
While keeping family friendly.
Well, obviously.
I think for me, a lot of times, my character is kind of based on the persona of children who face trauma. And so like a lot of the times the way she acts is based on her backstory, which I think we're going to get into at some point. And so I think about the kids that I work with.
For Merryweather, I think of like Pinkie Pie from My Little Pony, or like cotton candy, or just like really fun, exciting things. But then also there's sort of this, I feel like almost this like urgency where she just like goes and like is a little obsessive about things.
Yes.
I don't know. So yes. So yeah, I think that also, so Merryweather has a character voice, and so I feel like once I start doing her character voice, then it just kind of slips right into being her like crazy gnome self. It's very fun.
We don't talk to those much.
No, we mostly just make fun of them.
Because we think they're evil.
Well, look, it's not really spoilers, but she was in a tomb locked behind mysterious doors, and she left all of her equipment behind, so what are we supposed to think? I don't know.
Okay. They don't know about this one.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like a married, date, kill, my version of it. So it is amusement park. Who would you want to take to amusement park? Who would you want to take on a cruise? And who would you want to take to a haunted house? Yes. Yes. For which thing?
That's like really on the spot. What am I screaming? Give me paint me a scene.
I just fell into a pool.
We are looking for a new DM.
Mary, if that happened, Mary would go, you could do better. Walk on. Probably something like that. Thank you. Yeah.
She'd love it, but she tried to figure out how the beasts work.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, she does think that automobiles are animals.
Right.
So
The beast is
there are cars
inside
in our
of it.
G&D podcast.
The beast is inside of the car.
I would also take Twiddle to the amusement park because she is so new to everything, having lived in a mountain village. Like, she doesn't know anything, so I could introduce her to all the great carnival food. She could deep fry whatever, and then ride all the rides, and it'd be great. I would take, I would take Winnie also. Oh no, I don't want to do the exact same thing Renee did.
No, but you have different reasons, right?
Yeah, I would take Winnie to the haunted house because I know that's not what you said, and that's why I said it. I would take her to the haunted house because I think that it would be fun to see her be scared. And I'd be very curious to see if she made it through the whole thing or if she ran out the door. She'd have two responses. She'd either be absolutely frightened and run away, or she would start hitting things. And so I'd love to see which one it was. and then that leaves Merriweather for the cruise, which would be a little bit exhausting, but I would get to see everything on that cruise. All the activities, all the VIP stuff, I would get in because Merriweather would make sure she got in. Exactly.
Yeah. I was thinking I would choose Merriweather for the cruise because she has a sailor background.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking this would be very educational for me.
Yes.
I am going to steal some of Kathy, James's sister's answers. So I asked her this question. I would choose Winnie for the amusement park because I think it'd be fun because maybe we could get on the kid rides because she's so short as a halfling. And so I think that Winnie would have a great time with the fair and everything. But one thing Kathy said about taking Twiddle to a haunted house is Twiddle is a changeling, so she would just turn into something scarier to whatever popped out at her and then wrestled them to the ground, and we'd probably get kicked out, but I don't really like haunted houses, so I'd be okay with that.
I think I would take Merriweather to the amusement park because that sounds like a lot of fun. I'm sure she'd have a blast.
This is awesome!
Yeah, this is amazing! And cotton candy like before. I'm sure she'd just be sugar high out of her mind. And then I think I would take Winnie to the haunted house because I think in my mind, this version of Winnie in my mind would be a monster would pop out to scare her, but it wouldn't be a real monster, it's a person dressed up, right? And be oh, you scared me. Hi, I'm Winnie. That'd be really great because I hate haunted houses, and so I think going with Winnie, who'd be meeting people the whole way, would really help me. And then I think, so that would leave Twiddle for the cruise, and I just imagine Twiddle trying to go fishing with her bear trap, and I think that'd be very fun.
Yeah. So my weapon of choice as a barbarian is a bear trap that I like to hit people with. We have to be good and entertaining.
We don't have to know the rules, though.
We don't have to know the rules.
That's very true.
Because Becca can edit that out.
Yeah, when we're like, how does this work again? We're like, hold on, we're gonna search this up or flip through pages. 10 minutes later, and it's like, cool, I just gotta cut out 10 minutes from the recording. Great, it's so easy.
I stream on Twitch with the Greyhawk channel on Tuesday nights, and it's awesome. And even that is different than podcasting because it's live. You can't edit it. It's a lot more like actually playing the game because you stick to the dice rules. You stick to like we play with a map, and so like there's no theater of the mind, and I mean there is, but not as much. And thank you.
Thank you, other room.
With the podcast, I'm not worried that if I say something that Winnie wouldn't say, I can't take it back. Like, if I say something Winnie wouldn't say, it doesn't make the podcast. What Winnie would say does. And so it's a little bit, it feels almost like safer, because if I mess up, it's okay.
I think for me, I'm an extrovert, and so it's very hard for me because we have to record in separate rooms. And so normally what we do is Renee and I will like get Matt and we'll go watch TV together, and that just helps me because I'm exhausted and like a little down after we record just because I've been alone for like an hour and a half and I'm just
And I love how, like, so for me, I'm like such an introvert where it's like after talking to these people for an hour and a half, I'm like, I need some time alone. Where Sam, after talking to us for an hour and a half, is like, man, I've been alone for so long.
Pretty much.
We are
Yeah. Can I real quick say the places I've recorded? Because I'm the redheaded stepchild of the group. I've recorded in the floor of a laundry room. I have recorded by a fireplace in the living room. I have now recorded in a bedroom, but I have been moved to the bathroom floor at times. So that's pretty much what.
It's just one time.
Yeah, I put the mic on top of the toilet and was just like sitting there.
Yeah, and I feel like, to go back to the question, no, you're totally good. One of the things that tends to be different between recording for a podcast versus just playing D&D is I feel like we all know more about what is going on than I feel like I normally would in playing D&D. And so like we have lots of conversations with Renee where we're like talking about our characters and our backstory and like how are we going to fit all those things together to the overall kind of narrative. And then it's also really weird because normally when you're just playing D&D, you play, the session happens, whatever, and then you can talk to whoever you want about it, and you can tell them all these different things that you've done, whatever. I don't know if you have those people. I like usually will talk to my mom and be like, Mom, let me tell you everything that happened in this session. But with our podcast, because we release it on a schedule and it's like public, it's like we recorded something, but I can't tell anyone because they listen. Yeah, same with my mom.
Episode that comes out too. She says that every day.
Yeah. I'm eager.
I'm so ready.
So I'm so excited to know what happens.
Me too.
Howdy, Fablemates, and welcome to this episode's Loose Threads. I just want to start off this segment by saying thank you to everyone who has listened to our Feast of the Moon special episodes that we did with D20 Dames, Venture Maidens, Roll Like a Girl, and the Broadswords. We had a ton of fun collaborating with everybody and getting to tell new stories with new characters and old characters. It was a blast, and we have loved hearing everybody's feedback and love knowing that y'all all enjoyed it as much as we did. So thank you, and I hope everybody had a happy holiday season as well. I know a highlight for me this holiday was getting to go down to Austin to visit my friends and my family, and as always, visiting Dragon's Lair. In fact, I bought gifts for my dad and my sister while I was down there. We bought a game that was super fun to play and got my sister a super sweet graphic novel series to start. Very excited to hear. If you're in need of some good games or some good graphic novels for yourself, or even some figures or dice or books to go with your new favorite system you found over the holidays, be sure to check them out at dlayer.net/Austin, or stop by the store and say that Fate and the Fablemaidens sent you. I want to thank our patrons as well for all of their incredible support. We are all so overwhelmed and humbled by the support that y'all have given us, and we are actually going to be revamping our Patreon this month, and we're going to be pushing a bunch of new content out, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be fantastic. If you'd like to get in on that, go to patreon.com/FateFMcast and sign up for a tier and see all kinds of fun behind the scenes stuff. Another exciting thing that we are doing this month is all 4 of the Fablemaidens will be at PodCon in Seattle. It's going to be a ton of fun. We will be there on January 19th and 20th. We're very excited. We're looking over the schedule. We're lining things up. We would love to meet anybody who is going to be there. It's going to be a ton of fun, and we're so pumped. So be sure to let us know if you'll be there, and we would love to meet up with you. And if you'd like to see all of our adventures at PodCon and beyond, be sure to check us out on social media on Twitter and Facebook at FateFMcast. We're always posting things, and we have loved seeing over this past year the community that has been built through those social media platforms, and we would love to keep that going in 2019. So please be sure to like or subscribe or whatever, so we can keep growing this community that has been so generous and so encouraging. We would also like to thank JP Diavondo for our theme music. It's incredible, and he's wonderful. I think that's everything for this Loose Threads segment. Thank you so much for all of your support. 2018 was incredible, and we're very excited to see what 2019 will bring. And now, let's get back to the episode.
I'm about to say, you have an answer ready. Hashtag Crane Crane goes to the trolley.
Oh my gosh, yes.
He's the best.
Yes.
Go, because that would be so much fun. Honestly, you guys, if you ask me these questions about
I have one. Okay. I don't listen to just D&D podcasts. I listen to historical podcasts. And so one of my favorite podcasts is called History Chicks. And they did an episode about Dorothy Parker. And I think she'd be so much fun. She's so quick-witted. I don't think I could get up with her. I'd rather her be the DM and I could play under her. I think that'd be better. No. Yeah.
I think I don't want to play with the Bronte sisters because I feel like they might make some bummer characters. And I think it'd be fun to play, I don't know, a character like Merryweather or something that's just like very annoyingly optimistic and happy just to their like super bummer characters. And I'm sure they would make like, obviously they're like all writers and poets and stuff, and I think they would just have beautiful, well-constructed backstories, kind of similar to what you were saying, wonderful characters, and then I would just be like, who cares? Yes.
I like Mary Shelley. I like Frankenstein. That's a good one. She'd be fun. I think she'd have very interesting stories to tell, but I think they'd all have a point. You know, like I would learn something, and I'd feel like I was better.
So would Mary Shelley?
Yeah, that's not the question. As another player, I know that you did, and I answered it the way I did because
Good job.
it was my answer.
I think that satisfies it.
Is that good enough?
Yeah, that was really exciting.
And that was
We were going to be 4 of them.
My mom will listen to 7. Look, it's just growing and growing.
It's just growing. Every continent except Antarctica.
We're working on the penguins.
She actually coached us how to meet other fans.
it was very great. And
She's great. We love her.
Yeah.
So
It's wild.
My favorite part has been creating something with my best friends, and I talk to these girls more than I've talked to them since Renee and Becca since high school, when we were in the same room all day, together. And so this has, I feel like, really strengthened our friendship and really brought us together and has allowed me to once again really be part of their lives and not just that friend that you talk to every once in a while but you pick up like that. So that's been really good. Yeah, it was a really long time, but we weren't tired of each other and we still had more things to talk about, so that's a good sign.
I feel like I'm going to say this in a convoluted way, but I think my favorite thing has been getting access to D&D stuff, because I've only been playing for about 13 months. And so we met somebody who does the Retroverse, And so that's kind of a combination of Saturday morning cartoons with 80s, 90s, early 2000s. So it's like they've got like a Power Ranger type character that you can throw in. It's a class. And so it's just adapting that. And so I'm actually going to be doing a special at some point, doing the Retroverse. So for our podcast. And so with a special guest, and it's opening up the D&D world to me, and I just like playing. That's why I agreed to do this. So I like to play D&D. Yes.
He does. He's great.
What was the question?
What's your favorite part about podcasting with us?
So I think my favorite
Or in
part,
general.
or one of my, well, Renee and I had talked for a really long time about doing a creative project together, because Renee and I both do writing stuff, and so we were like, oh, maybe we could like co-write a book, or we could like do, I don't know, we were like we were throwing around different ideas. And then kind of out of the blue, we were like, how about a D&D podcast? Well, you had expressed some interest. I was like, I have this character in mind. I guess you could DM. Yes. But I guess kind of to mimic Laura's answer, I've really loved just like, I'm like the worst person at texting and responding to people.
Yes.
Like, yeah. It's so bad. Like I had someone, never mind. Anyway, people text me and then it takes me 8 years to respond, and then they like will send me a text being like, did you see my last text? And then it takes forever for me to respond to that one, and then I'm like, oh no, it's too late. Anyway, but like with these girls, I've gotten to spend so much time with them, and I love them so much, and we're the twins, and it's a really great thing just to get to pour our hearts into this story together, and we each bring something so different to the story, and so I think it's really cool to see how the podcast and the story that we're telling is shaped by each of our perspectives, and yes, and then also, kind of like Sam, just getting to play so much D&D. I love D&D. I love D&D so much. It's a really great game, you guys. And so just getting to play it a lot with lots of different people, and getting to even play like other one-shots where it's like Monster of the Week or Blades in the Dark. Is that what that one's called? Yeah. Yes, Blades in the Dark. The D&D world and RPG world is just like opened up, and getting to make new friends.
It's too late.
We're adults. What? We're adults. We didn't have to do family friendly.
You're right.
That is a very true point.
It was my question.
It was important to me to do family friendly because I want to use this as a launching point to encourage young people in educational pursuits and STEM and creativity, and just achieving their dreams while they're still young and they can like build up the time to do it, and so in order for that to be a good jumping spot, it's got to be accessible to the kids. So family friendly.
But
True.
Hey.
I did.
And I think, quite frankly, too, we saw a need for it in the podcasting community. When we think about different podcasts, we think of like Critical Role or The Adventure Zone, not family friendly.
Love them.
Love them, not family friendly. And I know that one of the things that I kept thinking about was if I had known about these podcasts when I was younger, if they existed when I was younger, I would have loved to have listened to them. But also, I would have had to have snuck around my parents to listen to it because they wouldn't have wanted me listening to these non-family friendly shows. And I didn't want to create a podcast where we put kids in the position of having to hide things from their parents. We really wanted to be able to create something that kids would be able to enjoy, that you could play on Bluetooth in the car with your kids in the car, and it could be more of a family experience to where these younger people would be able to step into the world of D&D to get to decide whether or not they want to be part of this community, join a club. Like one of my friends I play D&D with, she is the sponsor for the D&D club at the middle school she teaches at. And I think I don't want to encourage kids to have to hide things from their parents. I want them to be able to connect more with their parents through something like our podcast.
Do you want to answer it?
Nah, that was my question.
Yeah.
You all failed.
We have about 15 more minutes. We can do maybe a couple quick questions. Call it out, I'll echo it so the mic picks it up, and then they can answer.
So I know Renee writes, I guess Becca writes. Writing a story is similar to, but different from playing Dungeons and Dragons. So could you go a little bit into the disadvantages and advantages to playing with characters in your head versus characters at your grandmother's house?
Go for it.
She's not kidding.
Laura. It was Laura.
It
for
was.
listening to- an our D&D setting, so.
And I think one of the other things too is with writing a story, there's that opportunity to go back and be like, oh no, I want to change this thing. But with podcasting, you're creating, even just in a normal campaign you're playing, whether public or not, once it's done, it's done. You can't go back and be like, no, I know that I said that I stole that shield, but I don't think I did. Like, it's done. You stole the shield. And so I think that's really interesting. And then the other thing that I think is really interesting is, I was talking to Renee about it last night even. Last night, a few of us were playing with Kathy, who is James's sister. She DM'd a one-shot for us that was so much fun. And she gave me a character named Trevor. She made up these characters. And Trevor's amazing, you guys. I bought a new dice for him. I'm very excited.
Whatever, Trevor.
But I was telling Renee that I have this character in my head. I've been trying to find the right story for him to be in for my writing, and I can't ever find the right spot for him. And then when I was learning about Trevor, and Kathy was describing, oh, he's serious and all that, I was like, wait a second, I know this guy. This guy is just like that character I've been trying to find a spot for. And so it's really fun then to have this character that I had in mind for other stories, and then be like, oh, let me play him a little bit and tie him into the wonderful backstory that Kathy created for me and for Trevor. And so that was also, it was really interesting because then it was cool, I now have solid decisions with this guy, and I know how to do this. It's really, I don't know. It's fun. Yeah, it's awesome. Yes. Good. You should be flattered. It was great. It was so much fun.
So, outside of the FateFM podcast, you obviously play D&D. What has been your favorite critical hit during battle?
I was running.
I have a really terrible memory, so I can't think of a single time that I've ever crit hit anything. And I know that's not true. But I've crit failed. My favorite, I'll do that one. My favorite crit fail was I played a druid, and we had just set free a camp, and there were cows running around, and I thought, oh, I'm just gonna really quickly tie up this cow. And the DM goes, okay, just roll for it. And I said, okay. I roll a nat 1. Oh, okay. And so then the cow runs away from me, and actually the cow was called a moo horse, because it wasn't called a cow. And anyway, so another character tried to tie down the moo horse, and they rolled a nat 1. And then a third person rolled a nat 1, and no one could catch this stupid cow, and it was just running around, and we all have these ropes, and we're like, come here, cow, moo horse, come here. And it was really great.
To add to that, my character, this was after a huge battle, so my character was right at 1 hit point, and so through our antics,
Oh, yeah.
he got knocked out.
Yeah.
You not knowing how to...
Yeah, James's character got knocked out. Real good.
I was going to say one thing that I like to do as a DM is if I have a player that wants to roll stealth and they get a crit failure, I tell them, you think you're stealth completely, so go walk around like you are. Yeah.
That's always my answer.
Yep.
Out of the roll.
Real quick.
What? I don't get to do a real quick answer? The fastest answer ever?
Real fast.
I played a pretty chaotic druid in another campaign, and we were in a room full of cultists, so I conjured 2 fey bears and then turned into a bear, and then I just mauled 3 cultists to death with the 3 of us. It was wonderful.
A druid in me loves that.
All right. Landmark.
Oh no! Thank you.
Another thing, really fast, thank you for holding my mic. I'm going to keep standing on the chair, so keep doing it. We are on social media, of course, at FateFM Cast. We have business cards, so if you're interested in that, for coming today.